Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Just in case you're new here, my name is Kay and I make videos about daily planning, about budget planning, about a midlife makeover project, and today I'm making a video about Mover K. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not making a video about moving, but I am today Mover K because just shortly I'm gonna head out and my daughter is moving counties, so she's moving closer to me, which will be amazing. And today I'm gonna help pick up some boxes and pick up her key and start to move her in. So very exciting. I wanted to, first of all, show you a few new things around in the space. And around in the space, a few things around in the space, a few things around in the space. I have no command of language today, and there's a good reason for that. I have noodle brain right now, but I'll explain that in a minute. And also apparently jazz hands, but I'll explain that in a minute. First, let me give you a tour. Now, I don't know if this is interesting to anybody, but this is one of the new things that I set up. This is not new to me, but I did kind of reorganize everything and make a new creative space. So I did put some of the tapes that I tend to use for my spreads in my traveler's notebook. I have here just some miscellaneous things that I may use if I want to do like a junk journal, my stamps that I use most commonly, and some of the ink pads that I'm using. That's basically what this is. Oh, this is the new weather station that I have set up outside. This is something let me scoot over with it. I'm really excited to share with you. And I don't know if you remember in one of the old tours that I gave you, but I used to put just like shipping stuff, like envelopes and stuff like that in this cart. And now I've made it into a book cart because I'm starting to collect more and more books and as I'm reading. And so I have plenty of space now to fill that up. And well, this is messy, so maybe just look at it with one eye closed. But down here, I've made a home for my black and white printer, for my Cricut, and then my color printer, and that's nice and convenient for me. It's not nice and tidy, but it's convenient. Well, let me show you the not tidy. There's the not tidy. Okay, so you don't think I'm just being silly. Yeah, there's a lot of untidiness beneath it. I haven't really made any changes to that since I first showed you its setup, although you may see that as I find and unpack those old art supplies, I'm getting them up and out so I can use them, and I do use them a lot. As you can see, I just tear through it. Those books down there are the books that I use when I'm doing kind of a spread, so they're my books that I tear out from and find things from. They're not like reading books or anything. So that's where I've been keeping some of my books, and that's my old typewriter. It looks like the chair has bumped into it and knocked it down, but that's my old typewriter. I've been carrying it around since I was a young adult, and hubby hung up those plant holders for me, so that was a nice addition. I don't think there's anything new over here. I did kind of rearrange everything, and again, I've been trying to go through everything, and the things that I don't use, I've been donating them, figuring maybe another crafter can pick those up. And then you can see I've cleared out all of my fixed DIY planners. Those are gone now. I'm not really using my markers much at all, so I don't know, I may tuck that away someplace. And this is my work area, and that has in my dirty coffee cup and YouTube up on my computer screen. And let me show you a couple of new things over here. I've been really surprised by over the months how this space is changing, and I'm happy about that. I'm glad that it's evolving with me. I'm glad that I'm feeling safe with letting go of things and really surrounding the things that bring me joy and that I use throughout my creative activities. So that's a really positive thing. Okay, let me show you something else that's new. Right here. This bad boy. So you all know, well, if you watch my channel, that I moved from a fixed ring type of planner into traveler's notebooks, and I've been in them for a couple of months now. I'm still really enjoying them. What gets me what really keeps me in the traveler's notebook and back from, backsliding into my DIY planner, which is my baby, is it's mobility. Not just mobility. First of all, you'd be surprised how often I take these things places with me. I not only take them places with me, but I'm finding that I'm much more engaged in that type of creative outlet. So when I feel inspired, I'm stopping and taking a picture and I'm writing a little note about it. And it's been really neat to reflect back on that. So I'm really enjoying that. But the next thing is that you've probably sensed it across, this year-long arc on YouTube. I get bored with things pretty quickly. And once something becomes like fixed and I can't tweak it anymore and continue to evolve it, I kind of get bored with it. And these little inserts are so small that, I've finished them relatively quickly and I get to start all over again and I get to recreate something all over again with my current mood, with my current likes, because I am really changing a lot. Like I'm going from pastels back into kind of some retro colors, back into pastels again. So they kind of keep up pace with me. Anyway, what is this bad boy? This bad boy is a writer's insert. I started a writer's insert because a couple weeks ago, I'm trying to think, when was it? Well, I will have the date written down someplace. I had a dream and I woke up from that dream and I said, that just has to become a book. In case you don't know, I'm a former marriage and family therapist and a clinical sexologist and a love expert, which, I'm not a big believer in, but somebody who has researched and spoken about love and my research about love and intimacy and couplehood around the world. I do have a lot of writings, trade writings out. I think the only, public writing I ever did was a premarital workbook and published that. But all my other written works pertain to my research, pertain to specific guides or handbooks that I've made for therapy, for other clinicians that, help couples or, they're hyper-focused generally on a topic. And so I've done a lot of writing in that realm. I've always wanted to be an author, and I've just never really had the time. But I am finding with all these life changes that I've been making, and I've spoken about it, several times now, that time has become so much more intentional and focused with me. Things that I used to do, like planning, like 2 hours of planning every morning, I just don't do anymore. And now I find with that extra time, I'm able to write, I'm able to journal, I'm able to create things. And so after I had this dream, I just started writing about it. And today I am in, I'll tell you exactly, I just finished chapter 15. So I'm about, right now, probably about maybe 18,000 words into the book. Just in case you're curious, the research that I was doing of like, well, it's fantasy romance because, of course, that's my very, very favorite. But the average length of a romance book, or, there's different categories of romance, but generally the sweet spot generally tends to be, according to my research, 80 to 90,000 words. And so I have quite a ways to go, but I'm just, it continues to evolve. In fact, I did an outline based upon that dream, and it's changed 50 times over, because as you kind of write about these characters and these experiences, it just takes off. Like they just become their own thing, and it's no longer mine anymore. It's like that character, it belongs to them, their story, and it just gets unfolded as I click away at my keyboard. So here it is. Recycling those binders, even though it's the ugly, shiny white one that I don't like, but I had one extra, so I used it. But here it is. All of these pages are the story. So that is something else that's new in this space here that I have going on. And let me show you a couple other notebooks that I have going on. Okay, so I've showed you this before, Excuse me. But now that I understand how to make a Kiss Cut sticker on Cricut, I've been making them all personalized for me. These are some stickers that I've been using in my passport notebook. I should have gotten that. And actually, let me get it for you. Oh boy, here we go. I'm coming back. Okay. So I wanted something just to easily be able to visualize my pages in my passport notebook. So because I've been keeping one of these notebooks for lists, so I kind of made a passport or a sticker for my work list and then a sticker for my garden lists. And you can see over here things I need to get from Amazon, things I need to get from the store. And this are my studio, things I need to do in the studio. And then as I run out of space on my list pages, I just start a new one like this. This is a new studio list. And so I made those stickers for that. And I've really been enjoying them. And then I also made a new traveler's notebook insert. What I was finding is, let's see here, in the back of this bad boy, is, I don't know if you remember, but next to my cash wallet, I was keeping track of the account and cash coming in and out of my cash wallet, and I didn't like it mixed, so I've just made this insert because I carry this with me just for my cash wallet. So I made that, but then I made this dedicated insert, which I'm keeping in my commonplace traveler's notebook for the accounts. So those budgeting videos that you see, I came in here and said, you know, how much money do I need in cash? What do I need to transfer over to sinking funds, the emergency fund? And we just did this on my YNAB video. And then I'm keeping track of the checking account, just the household account. And so I made those stickers for this, just so again, I could easily visualize what was taking place on the page. So that's something new. And let me make sure that's not in your face. Those were freebies I got. And then in my writer's notebook, our insert, I wanted to make some things. I wanted to just kind of do a tracker of how many words am I writing each day. And so I made these little stickers for that. And yeah, those are all new as well. And then I keep them right up here in front. Okay, now let's go through. This is my Love Notes Traveler's Notebook and everything for Love Notes. So let's see, I think you've seen all of these. I have my YouTube posting page, tracker, calendars, and then I have, and I've shared this before, maybe I've decorated it since we've last videotaped it, or recorded it. Did I say videotape? Y'all, I'm old and I've been writing all morning. So I don't have a command of my vocabulary. So this is Love Notes, and I just keep track of things like branding in here, identification of what do I really want Love Notes to be about. You know, it's my goal to really build it out into something, its own thing. And yeah, so I'm tracking that. Things I like, catch my attention, you know, color themes, and so forth. And that's Love Notes. And then inside my Love Notes Traveler's Notebook, I'm keeping my writer's log. And I'll show you that next because that's the next new thing. Boy, I'm going to have to think about what to title this video, this posting. It's going to have to be like all the new things. So what did I do? Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted just to start keeping track of the days that I was writing and what I was working on and how many words that I wrote that day. So you can see that, and this is just recent. So I started logging that. And then I was seeing some things on TikTok, like publishing platforms that other people use, because there's so many great resources there for indie authors, and that's what I would be if I can finish this book. So I've just been, taking snapshots of those and putting it in here. And then these are the writing pages that I made. So for June, I know my book is at least going to have 30 chapters. And so I've just been kind of word counting each chapter as it gets developed out. And I'll kind of explain these word counts just in case any of you happen to be working on something similar, what all this means to me, because you can see like here's a chapter of 694 pages. That's like a small essay, right? It's not very long. And that's because some obstacles that I work with as a writer. First of all, I constantly am battling this thought of my writing has to be perfect. Like I can't progress until I get something at a sweet spot. And I need to get around that. You can actually see that with chapter 1. I just hovered over it for a couple of weeks and its word count kept going up and up and up. And that's fine. But I was, editing it. And that gets in my way. So I just laid out some goals for me. And that is goal number 1, just write the story, Kay. Just write the story. And that's what I've started to allow myself to do. So there's not as much detail or backstory or character development as I want in these chapters yet, but I'm just writing the story. And then when I go back and edit, that's when I'm going to start to improve the dialogue and how it flows and the transitions and things like sensory detail. Those tend to be, 4 areas that I've made note of that I always need to be mindful of. I did set some goals. And then, after I write the story, I really wanted to focus on editing chapters 1 through 3 and see if I could pick up some beta readers who really love fantasy romance. And then goal number 4, tracking my word count. Goal number 5, I want a total word count of over 80,000. So those were just some really, fluid, light goals that I set up for myself. And again, tracking the words. I'm going to, create one for July and pick up and track words again just to see. I figure that, if I keep at this, it's probably a 5 or 6 month journey for me, which when you think of it, gosh, writing a book in 5 to 6 months is not long at all. It's not a big investment. So, and I'm just doing it in the, the windows that I have available to me in the morning. So yeah, this has been a big change, and it's been why I've been a little bit more quiet on YouTube as well, just because I find a lot of mornings where I don't want to do anything else but write this story. Sometimes when you're so far into characters, it's like, no, I can't leave her at this point. It's a critical point for her. So I've been investing, on some days more time than what I would normally allocate for this. But yeah, so that's also definitely something new. This is my Commonplace Traveler's Notebook, and I'll do a video where I'll film walking through, because each one of these has been developed out since we've last filmed, but I don't think all in all there's anything new in here. You'll know this is just my commonplace, and then I have one for book reviews, and then I have an existential crisis journal where I put my more, darker journaling thoughts. Okay, and that is about it. I'm going to have to do a new budgeting video as well, just to let you all know, because I had a budget change, and it's a pretty big one, and I've not had a change like this for quite some time. So I'll do that live. Well, live, I'll video it. So you can join me on that. And outside of that, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining for this little tour of all the newness that I've got going on and what I've been working on. It is Saturday morning now at 7:46. I'm going to be leaving in 10 minutes to go get my kiddo. And until the next time, may you be blessed.